There's a pattern I keep seeing with young men. They're tired, they're anxious, they feel behind, restless, unfocused. And the default explanation is always the same. You must need to talk about it, you need therapy, or there must be something you need to unpack. But in most cases, nothing is actually wrong with them. They're not broken, they're not damaged, they're just under-structured. And when structure disappears from a man's life, or anybody's life for that fact, anxiety fills the place. See, most people who feel anxious or unfocused are living extremely inconsistent lives, even if they're productive on paper. They wake up at different times every day, work whenever motivation shows up, train sporadically, eat inconsistently, and blur the line between rest and work so completely that their brain can never tell when anything has been completed. And that level of inconsistency forces your nervous system to stay alert because it can't predict what's coming next. And when the brain can't predict, it compensates by overthinking. You start questioning whether you're doing enough, whether you're wasting your time, whether you should be somewhere else or doing something different. And that internal dialogue slowly becomes what people label as anxiety or lack of motivation. And in reality, it's not emotional dysfunction, it's a system problem. We became very good at naming feelings, but very bad at examining environments. If somebody says they feel burnt out or unmotivated, the response is to look inward, to search for trauma or limiting beliefs. But often the environment they're operating in is chaotic enough to produce those feelings completely on its own. Therapy is designed to create awareness, but awareness without behavioral regulation doesn't change much. You can fully understand why you feel the way you do, but still feel the same if nothing about how you actually go about your life changes, which is why so many people stay stuck in cycles of insight without progress. Structure, on the other hand, regulates behavior first, and behavior changes how the mind experiences reality far faster than conversation ever will. Structure works because it removes unnecessary decisions and it reduces your cognitive load. See, when your day has a predictable shape, your brain stops scanning for uncertainty and it frees up energy for execution. Fixed wake-up times, defined work blocks, scheduled training, and protected sleep windows all send the same signal to your nervous system, which is things are under control. And this is why highly structured environments like sports or disciplined teams often actually reduce anxiety instead of increasing it. See, order is calming. It gives pressure somewhere to go instead of letting it leak into overthinking and distraction. For entrepreneurs especially, structure is non-restrictive. It's stabilizing, and without it, freedom quickly turns to chaos. Now, this pattern is especially visible in young men because they're encouraged to be flexible, aggressive, and adaptable without ever being taught how to actually contain that energy. And when there's no structure, pressure leaks into impulsive behavior, overstimulation, or avoidance, which then gets misinterpreted as emotional problems. See, masculinity at its core isn't about dominance or aggression. It's about the ability to carry responsibility without collapsing. And that requires systems that support you rather than leaving everything to willpower. Now, therapy often falls short on its own because therapy asks better questions, but questions don't fix disorder. Behavior does. This doesn't mean that therapy is useless. It means that it's incomplete without structure. Talking about anxiety while living chaotically is like discussing nutrition while eating randomly. The conversation never actually anchors to anything real. When structure is in place, insights actually stick because they have a system to attach to in your life. Implementing structure without overcomplicating it doesn't require perfection or extreme discipline. It requires a few non-negotiables to create stability. A fixed wake-up time each day, a consistent training schedule, clearly defined work blocks, and a protected sleep window are enough to regulate most people within weeks. The key is to not overanalyze how you feel during this process, but let the systems do its job. Most people feel calmer and clearer long before they consciously understand why, because the nervous system responds to order automatically. You don't need to find yourself or uncover some hidden truth about your psychology. You need to build a life that your nervous system can relax inside. Structure doesn't limit freedom, it creates the conditions for it. And if you're trying to build anything meaningful, that stability is not optional.